You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures. If you're new to park flying, then thanks for joining us. And if you're already a pro, then welcome back.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael, and with me is my co-host.
Jay from the AK.
And Jay, hey, tonight we have a special guest, Peter from the park.
Yes, we do.
And we actually came over to his workshop to see what's going on.
And what a workshop it is.
It is an amazing workshop, to be honest with you. He's got some really, really cool stuff. And we're going to have him give us a tour.
Right. And I know we've been talking about a little bit about FPV, and we've been dabbling with just a few things, and they're very, very simple, and we're barely getting out of range, say, 100 feet or so.
Yeah, that's true. I was actually able to do FPV last time you came up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. I had never done it before, and you put the goggles on me, and we kind of flew around the front yard.
It's a totally different experience, but Peter's on a different level.
Yeah, he is on a different level.
I'd almost say it was a professional level.
It looks a little professional from this shop. I'll tell you what, it's pretty amazing. Peter, what is the big airplane you have here?
It's an Horizon Hobby E-Flight Optera.
Optera. Huh. And it's a flying wing, correct?
It's a flying wing, yeah.
Okay. And you've done a few modifications to it.
Yes. I bought the plug-and-play version.
Okay.
And I modified it with long-range receiver and video transmitter and camera and HD camera on it.
Now, we're not talking a little wing. This thing is
it doesn't fit in your pocket.
No, it's how long is it?
It's a 2-meter wingspan.
Wow.
2 meters. Okay, yeah, that's the size of my glider.
Yeah, think about it, folks. Most people have gliders that are 2 meters, not just a wing.
Right, this is a big
FPV
wing.
with. So this thing is quite massive and can carry quite a load.
It is. It is pretty big. And okay, so the modification you did to it was to put what did you say? The video receiver?
Video transmitter.
Oh, transmitter. That's right.
Yeah. I also put some landing gear under it.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive because this thing doesn't come with landing gear.
No, it does not.
And how did you do that?
Well, I just bought some piece of aluminum, and then we have someone else in our park here who helped me to bend it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to bend you're right, to bend it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And drilled all the holes that I needed.
Hey, I got a nice little hole here.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, how did you mount it actually to the foam? Does it come all the way through the foam?
Yes.
Okay. So is there a bracket on the top as well?
Yes. So on the rear landing gear, I put some wood on the inside so that it's hopefully holding. Until now, I didn't fly it.
It's holding up till now, right?
Yeah, until now. And then this friend helped me to lathe a cylinder with bearings inside for the front steering wheel. Yeah,
now that's the impressive part is that it steers. Mm-hmm. So you have a little servo and it steers the front nose wheel, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, actually. That was a good concept. And why did you put landing gear on it, though?
Well, I'm flying not always on grass. Sometimes.
We have flown this in the park, right?
Yes.
But
it was without landing gear.
Right. And not anymore, though. This thing is too big for the park.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not set up really for park flying.
Peter, I got a question. So it's obvious that you have a lot of experience in the RC field.
Yes.
You've been doing it for some time. So can you give us a little background about how long you've been flying, what you've been into, or what you like to fly? Just to give our listeners an idea of what you're into.
Okay. I started at the age of 14 or 15 flying control line.
Wow.
So I got a small engine and made a plane around it with some balsa. And
Did you chop down a balsa tree?
There you go, started whittling.
Yeah, and started flying control line.
Huh.
And then I finished when I started my studies at the university. And after I finished the studies, I had money to buy my first radio.
Oh, there you go. What kind of radio was it?
Oh, it was 27 megahertz.
Oh.
That's all I remember.
We don't care about the brand name.
No, I can't remember the brand name. But
no, it's no problem.
that's when I started flying, radio control.
Gotcha.
And I did it for 3 or 4 years only.
Okay.
Then I was too busy with my job. Mm-hmm. Stopped it again. And in 2003, I started flying helicopters.
Yeah, and we're not talking small. Did you fly small?
So 2003 is when you started flying helicopters?
Then I started flying helicopters.
Holy smokes.
Okay. So I thought you'd been flying helicopters for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah, because that size helicopter in your shop over here is not a 2003 size.
Yeah, folks.
Actually, the red one that I showed you is from 1999.
Okay.
Or is on the market since 1999.
Right.
And I bought it in later 2003.
Okay.
I started with an electric helicopter.
What size?
110.
Oh, okay. So you started with something much smaller because these helicopters that he has in his shop are like 600 size.
It's 600.
They're huge.
They are massive.
Yeah.
So now, so you started with something small.
Smaller, yeah.
Right. And then you moved up.
Yeah.
So how many years did it take you between flying with something in the 100 to 100, 400 class before
110 centimeters class?
Gotcha.
So and the big ones are 150 centimeters.
Wow.
And I think less than a year later, I was flying these big ones.
Wow.
Never crashed it.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like.
But I'm not flying 3D.
Okay.
All right. Well, I still feel like a
just
moron.
a little bit around.
But still, I mean,
that is
things
impressive.
happen. Things happen.
Yeah.
And people crash. And that particular helicopter, if you broke a blade,
it ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap.
Right.
So, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive.
That's impressive. So, were you flying every day to get that good?
No, usually on the weekends only.
Really? Mm-hmm. Look at this.
Now, did you have a buddy box or you learn on your own?
In the beginning, I had an instructor with the buddy box. Just in the beginning, only hovering, but flying around. That's what I did myself.
I was thinking you were a little bit of a prodigy that you just learned on your own
without
a simulator,
amazing,
right?
without an instructor.
I
learned this in a year.
I had an instructor.
Okay.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I don't feel like such a moron anymore.
Yeah, and then I think everybody can hear that I'm not a native speaker.
What?
Wait,
I thought he was from Jersey.
I think he has. Yeah, I thought he was from Jersey.
Yeah,
you're not from Jersey?
No.
I thought Germantown, PA, or something.
Something like that.
Germantown, PA. I don't know.
So I stopped flying RC models again. Because now I'm here in the United States.
Oh, that's right. So where are you originally? You're originally from where?
Germany.
Germany. Okay, we got a German accent just in case you weren't paying attention.
Okay.
For those of you that are geographically challenged, Jay.
So then, at the end or beginning of 2014, I'm not sure. I started flying RC models again here in the States, joined the club.
Right. Now, was that here in locally?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
8 or 9 months later, I discovered FPV flying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is totally different than just regular RC stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
so what attracted you? What was it that made you want to do it?
Someone gave me a goggle and let me watch it. And that was at the moment when I...
he had the same. Yeah, he had the same problem. That's how he got started too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Somebody handed him a goggles and they flew him around and gave him, what did you call it? A ride.
Gave me a ride.
Yeah. That was the moment when I wanted it.
Yeah. Everybody wants to do that. Hey, I want to be up front. Now, you're a pilot too, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you flew gliders.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's not, I kind of feel for Peter. I'm a pilot. He's a pilot. We're both RC guys. Come on, give a brother a break.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you a little bit. little bit of break.
So in 2014, you started flying again, you said.
Yeah.
And you've been flying ever since?
Since then, I'm flying much more.
Oh, yeah. Well, we see you pretty much every Tuesday out there anyway, right?
So when you started flying again, you got a FPV ride, and so you were attracted to quadcopters, helicopters. What were you?
I started with a quadcopter, 350 quadcopter, just a standard quadcopter that you could buy, ready to fly with a remote control. And what I did is I put a camera and a video transmitter on it. I had my goggles, and I started learning to fly FPV because in the beginning it's hard to hold altitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was my problem.
I had that problem too.
Yes, that's the problem in the beginning. And meanwhile it's working pretty good.
Yeah. Now, you didn't have an instructor for the FPV stuff?
No.
So you learned all this on your own?
Yeah.
So a lot of trial and error. Do you have any other guys that are doing that you're talking to, or bouncing ideas off of, or are you getting your ideas off the internet? Or
from the internet.
YouTube to the Googles.
To the Googles.
Yeah, right.
What would we do these days without Google?
I don't know.
YouTube.
I don't know. I tell my kids all the time, they're just like, "Hey, Dad, how am I supposed to do this?" And I'm like, "Oh, wow. I used to look in a book."
That's right. Call it Encyclopedia Britannica. I still have some of those.
Look at an encyclopedia, but now,
if only we had some device that would let us
type something in.
Yes, and my wife was a spotter, so she always told me, up.
Spotter,
when I came too low.
So you said earlier when we were taking a tour of your shop that you only fly with a spotter, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
So they give you what reference? How does a spotter work?
In the beginning, she gave me a reference, so she told me how high I was above ground.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually heard her spot. She yells at him a lot in German, so I'm not really sure what she's saying, but evidently he pays attention.
Or is she just yelling at him?
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. Either way, it was working.
Ah.
So she would tell you how far you were for the ground, and that would give you a visual reference through the goggles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because holding altitude, I noticed when you were up here when I was learning to fly, kind of that same thing. I didn't know what was the ground, what was up, how high was high.
What a lot of people don't realize when they first start flying FPV, they think, "Oh, wow, it's so neat, it's so cool." But you're trying to fly an aircraft through a soda straw.
Yeah.
You're looking through this little slice of the sky.
Yes, and you have only one eye.
And only one eye. And if you try to look around, well, you can't just turn your head. For most cases, you can set it up with cameras that you can do that. But for the most part, you're just looking through this little soda straw, and you have to turn the whole aircraft to look left or right. But that still leaves 180 degrees behind you that you can't see, that normally when you're walking around, you have a presence or a feeling like there's a tree. I walk by a tree, it's right behind me.
Yeah, it's your peripheral vision.
Peripheral vision. And when you're looking through a soda straw, you may not realize that tree, is it 6 inches, 6 feet, 60 feet? Or is it, or am I in the tree?
Yeah, you're in the tree.
Exactly.
I was in the tree.
You were in the tree. Exactly.
I was in the truck, the tree, the garage.
You were all over.
And the neighbor's yard.
You were.
Yeah, it was everywhere. It was fun though. I kind of got a taste of it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks.
It was. It wasn't easy at all. So Peter, you have another airplane other than this big wing that you fly in the park with FPV.
Yes. It's an Easy Star, also known as a Sky Scout.
Okay.
And I just put a camera and a video transmitter on it, and it's only 40 inches wingspan. And yes, I can fly it in the park.
Right.
Now, I would say that that's a perfect setup for if you had a beginner or somebody who was thinking about coming into the hobby, or this portion of the hobby of doing FPV. That setup is fairly easy, inexpensive. The aircraft, if you damage it, you can get parts for it. Right. And it's easy to set up because you can carve holes. That's a pretty rugged airframe. It can take a lot of damage. You can just tape it up, patch up the foam, whatever. I think that's a great platform to start with.
Because it's all foam, right? The whole airplane.
The whole airplane's foam.
Yes.
And And so it makes it easy for repairs because you will crash. And the good part is you can learn and not worry.
Not if you're Peter, you don't.
I know. Okay. For everybody
I've
else.
seen him fly. He doesn't crash very often. Actually, the guys at the park are actually like standing around going, "Oh, is he going to crash?" No. Okay. All right. We're all going home today. No notes today. Peter didn't crash. I have seen him slide into a tree though. So, I mean, he dinged to a little wing.
Exactly.
Couldn't tell, but his feelings were hurt at that.
So what type of, what other gear did you put in for that setup?
I just had a camera that I still already had.
All right, just laying around.
And I bought a video transmitter and an antenna for it. And that was it. And then you need to do some soldering, of course. And then you're ready to go with an FPV plane.
Huh. Now, did you have to modify the airplane to fit the components in?
Well, center of gravity moved a little bit. That was all.
Yeah. Or a lot.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
No?
No.
You just got a bigger battery and stuck it in the back?
Well, I have two batteries. The standard battery that came with the plane. It's a 1300 3S battery. So I had to move it a little bit to the rear. Or aft, is it called?
Yeah, aft.
Aft.
Right. Yeah, aft.
And I also fly it with a bigger battery. And
now, do you have to have one for your video stuff and one for the actual aircraft?
Yes. I sometimes fly it just with the same battery for fly it sometimes only with one battery for the motor and video.
Right.
And it works. But sometimes I have a second battery inside for the video.
And does that give you longer flight times, or does the flight time cut down if you're using the one battery for both?
It would give me a little bit more flight time.
Okay.
Yes, right. And separating the motor from the video transmitter is always a good idea because otherwise you could get interference.
Yeah, a little bleed over sometimes. Right. It depends on what else you have, in between everything.
Yeah, right.
What type of filters or
the EC is probably pretty good. So I don't see really interference if I use only one battery.
Now, is there a special type of a brand name that you use for video transmitters?
Can we say brand names?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. We're not proud. We plug anybody that'll take our money.
Yeah. I put a Cricket. It's called a Cricket video transmitter from Ready Made RC on it.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Now those guys pretty much are they're premier guys here in the States for FPV gear. They have a lot of stuff, hence in their name, that you can just buy everything that you need. You don't even have to solder or do a lot of that, and it's just ready to go, right?
Yeah. Well, in this case, I had to solder some wires together. But yes, they have lots of cables available so that the camera and the video transmitter fit together.
It's the name Ready Made.
That's
is that
it.
What
Ready Made RC.
I can just buy it and it's already made.
It's already made. It's ready to go.
Yeah,
just put it right on.
But I'm pretty good with soldering. You can see it here.
Yeah. We see the little soldering station.
Yeah.
I got a soldering station back. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sure.
And I love the spool that he has there.
And it's like big old long spool.
Yep. So he does a lot of soldering.
Right. Yeah. Like 4,000 feet of solder over there.
And I always shorten my wires.
You shorten them?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, standard wires are usually too long, and I don't like having cables hanging around that are too long. So I always shorten it, put new plugs on it. I grip myself.
Maybe I should have him work on a glider because I got a big glob of stuff. This stuff.
Well, you might want to have him take a look at it.
Yeah. Well,
we
he's
can
a
do it.
solder guy. You never know.
But there's another reason too, because having a lot of wire. Once again, doing video stuff, it just gives you that much more chances of getting interference, right?
Right. Because wires can also work as an antenna.
Exactly.
Oh, that's what causes a little fuzziness in the goggles. I think I've seen that.
Yep, in the goggles, and it especially you're having more than one transmitter as well, right? So so you're having a video system that's transmitting,
Right.
You have your receiver that's even though they're on different frequencies, depending on how close you have them or how far away, they can still interfere with each other. And then on top of that, if you have a GPS system that's sitting on top of all that mess, depending on how far or close away, even though it's a receiver, it also can catch some of the interference from all that noise, as well as what video camera you're using. It also puts up video noise.
Right. Video cameras are a big issue. Sometimes, if you have the wrong video camera, you get interference.
So are there different types, you mean?
Oh, yes. Well, first of all, if we talk about cameras, there are CMOS and CCD cameras. The CCD cameras are usually used in FPV flying, but more and more we get CMOS cameras now.
They're getting better and better.
They are getting better,
yeah. Is the CMOS better?
No.
Oh, well, what do I know?
Well, it's not. Okay, so you have the CCD cameras, the CMOS cameras, and there are two different types of sensors that are used in order to capture the image. The CCD is a little bit more, it's superior because I'm trying to think of the word that I'm looking for. It's better in low light, right? If I remember right. So if you're looking at the sun and you look at the ground, so, lighter to darker, it's able to focus a lot quicker and recover from that change a lot quicker than the CMOS cameras do. Right. And also you can get this jello effect.
With the CMOS.
With the CMOS.
Yes,
and you don't get that with the CCD. Mm-hmm. And it can be maddening trying to eliminate this jello effect from the shaking or vibration of your aircraft. So you have to end up balancing for the quads. You have to balance all the props. And then you have to put some sort of between the camera and the frame, you might want to have some sort of dampeners or rubber or foam, or there's a multitude of things to put in there, and it can be quite frustrating.
So it's not the hey Jello stuff.
No.
This is
this is horrible.
It's like a wavy stuff. Right?
Yeah. So, and you can see it on some. If you look at YouTube, you can see some video with people doing stuff, and it looks just like somebody's shaking the crap out of the.
I thought that was me. I was shaking. Just watching.
They're just shaking the camera, even though when you look at it, you may see a different angle in it. The quad looks stable. It doesn't look like it's shaking, but it's just the high frequency of that, and it's terrible.
Oh, is that what it's doing?
Right.
All right. So the CMOS, you said CMOS cameras, CCD cameras, and which one do you use?
Mostly CCD cameras.
And you like them better?
Well.
You kind of pause there.
It depends. It depends.
Okay. Depends on what?
Quality of the camera.
So it's basically you're looking to see what you're doing, whether you're flying something in the park or something a little further out.
Well, there are different cameras on the market, lots of cameras on the market. It's hard to decide which one is good and which one is not. Right now, I'm mostly flying with HS 1177 cameras.
And who makes those?
Someone in China.
Oh. It's my uncle.
Yeah, but
Boxier, I think.
Yeah, it's a standard. Basically, the camera is not built for FPV. We're basically stealing technology from security cameras,
right?
And we're basically using. So nobody's made a specific FPV camera for FPV people. This is quite past 2 years that it's really, really, really catching on. So nobody's just making a camera just for us yet. We're having to steal them from different technologies and different places in order to make them work for us.
Yeah.
That's going to give us our staff is going to say we really don't steal anything.
Well, we borrow. We acquire
technology.
Yes, we're acquiring.
We use the same technology.
Yes.
So, what other modifications did you do to this big, large wing you have here? Did you do anything else?
Well, I put another ESC in on the plane.
Okay, so that you have two, right?
What? Okay, so I have
no.
Why is that? Why did you do that?
The Optera comes with a 3S ESC.
Right.
And some people found out that you can use the motor also for 4S batteries.
Okay.
Which gives you more power.
Oh, yeah. We like more power.
Always.
Yes. So what I did is I put another ESC in it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
4S.
Right.
Actually, it's a 226S.
Oh, so you swapped you
swapped
the
swapped it
original
out.
one.
So you
Swapped
don't
it
have
out.
actually that one and
No,
another one.
I swapped.
Okay, because I was like,
put out-
okay,
I took out the standard and
put the
put
new
in
one
a
in.
new one in.
I gotcha.
So that I can use 4S batteries now.
So-
And the interesting thing about the Optera is it comes with a lot of ballast in the nose.
Yeah, a lot of. I think when you showed it to me last, it had like a big weight, like
Yes.
a bunch of. What did you say it was? Like 2 grams.
It was 249 grams that I took out.
What?
249 grams that I took out.
It looked like a baseball, man. I'm telling you, it was just this big wad of,
They
wad
had
of lead.
a lot. It was not lead, just metal, but
Oh,
doesn't
metal.
matter. So they had something in the nose and a little bit in the fuselage in the
Right.
front, and I took it all out.
It was massive.
And the interesting thing is, this Optera has a recommendation that you should fly it with 3S batteries, 2,200 to 3,200 milliamp hours batteries, which is not very much for
Not at all.
No,
Big
not at all.
So
swing
you
like
took
this.
that huge block of metal out,
Yes.
and you replaced it with battery weight.
Yes, exactly. So what I did is I put in a 4S 6,600 milliamp hours battery now, which is about 3 times from the smallest, more than
Right.
3 times from
Right.
the smallest battery that they recommend. And
Yeah.
of course, you get much more flight time, and it's only 40 grams more of weight for the plane.
So
but you traded it for power, right? I mean, you got so
Yeah,
much more
sure.
power.
Much
So
more
who cares
power.
about the 40 grams? I mean, you got 4S moving your airplane around.
Right.
That's pretty amazing.
like, do you take a nap while you're flying? 'Cause you must be up there for a long time. How long do you fly?
I
for
like
the
flying long.
Yeah,
well,
no
there's
doubt.
nothing wrong with that. My gosh, but how long can you fly with a battery that big?
Until now, I can't tell you because I didn't fly.
Because he fell asleep on his
I had it on autopilot and I just fell asleep. I woke up. I have an alarm.
Well, I have a vector flight controller on the plane now.
Okay.
On the plane now.
So does that give you information on how long you're flying?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Gives me a lot of information.
Now that'll do a, what do they call that? OSD? OSDs.
Yes.
Yeah. Which stands for?
On-screen
Screen
display.
On-screen display. Okay.
You almost stumped me there because old man says yeah.
Well, you're looking at me. I don't know any of this stuff. I mean, if it's airplane, has a rudder, ailerons, I can tell you. But this FPV stuff is all still new to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does this controller do then?
First of all, it helps you to level the plane because you have several modes. You can fly the plane now. You can fly without any stabilization.
Oh, really? So there's no gyro system or anything on this?
There is.
Oh, there is.
You can
Okay.
turn it off.
Uh-huh.
Then you have it's called a 2D mode, which stabilizes
Oh,
the
I
plane.
gotcha.
Then you have a 2DH mode, which helps you to keep altitude. So it stabilizes the plane and holds the altitude that you are flying.
So it has like an altitude hold.
Yes.
Right. That's exactly
Okay.
what it is.
Okay. All right.
And then you can put it into loiter so that it's just circling around.
I was about to go loiter mode. What does it come to a stop? It just hovers. You can get it in hover, but this one
Well,
just
it's a
makes
plane.
a circle,
It's
right?
a plane.
Yeah, it's an airplane.
It
I know.
can't hover.
Well, I
So-
mean, we're talking to a quad guy, so who knows?
Yeah. And so it circles around, and then you can take a break.
Right.
Well, that's good news. I got to go to the restroom, so y'all just
Yeah,
put it
right.
in loiter mode and we'll go around.
And the Vector also has a return to home.
Very good feature.
Yeah, that's a nice feature.
That's a must-have feature if
Right.
you're flying serious FPV flying.
Yeah. Right.
Because if you lose control, just weird things happen. If you were to lose contact with the plane,
Right.
You're up, around, out. You dropped your radio, whatever.
Right.
The Vector would sense this, then it would go, oh, nobody's controlling me. I go to my failsafe, and my failsafe is returned to home. When I get home, I'll loiter. I'll go to 300 feet and I'll loiter, and doing a loiter to the right hand circle, 300 feet until somebody tells me otherwise. Does it have auto land on that one?
No, this
No,
one,
it does not.
the Vector does not.
Okay.
But there are systems on the market that do have it.
Yeah, that's
So it will return to home and then land on its
You
own.
have to land yourself.
Oh, but it'll just
Because
come
it's
back
a
to
plane.
the
But
right.
if you have a copter,
quadcopter or something like that.
for instance, a quadcopter, that has also auto land.
Oh, that's pretty amazing.
right. It returns to the GPS point
Yes.
and then says, okay, I'm at X, Y, Z point, and now I'll just slowly descend at so many meters per second. Hits
Yes.
the ground, what it thinks is the ground, and then it'll stay kind of semi-revved up until it shuts its motors down about 10 seconds later. What do you think the future of FPV is going to be in the next couple of years? What do you think? Where would you like to see it go?
Well, there are two things you have to talk about: the technology and the laws.
There you go. Good old government
Yeah.
digging in your
Right,
pocket.
exactly.
Right. So the technology gives us the opportunities to fly FPV, and you will probably get better goggles, better videos.
Right.
Otherwise, radios or planes are very good today, so I don't see very much development in there.
Right.
Yes, and on the other hand, we have the government
Right.
that restricts us more and more.
Right. So was it last year they put in the all the laws for UAVs and UASs and
Oh, that's what I have in my pocket,
That's right.
right? The
Yes, that
114.
happened end of August
Yeah,
2016.
I have a drone license.
that's
What
right.
can I
You
say?
have a drone license.
I
Yes.
have a drone license.
Hey, I'm going to Peters to fly his drone.
That's it.
Right?
Actually, it's for commercial operations, though, right? That's really what that's for.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't need one to just fly around
No.
my park. But if I wanted to do something with,
If you want to make money,
Right. If
Yeah.
you
Oh,
want to just
okay. Well,
earn
there you go.
$1,
$1.
then you have to have
$1.
$1. You have to have it.
yeah, well, that's why I got it. So, you were saying that you think that the government is too restrictive? You think they should allow some more FPV?
yes, I would say it's too restrictive, because if you think about what you can do, and if you do it safely, you can do it safely, then I don't see more risk in flying FPV than in other things.
Right. Well,
Because-
and it's so new that the government doesn't even know what to do with it. I mean, they're so behind the times because any real regulations they write, 2 years, the technology is going to change or be improved, or it's getting smaller. That's the biggest thing I've noticed with a lot of this stuff. It's just been miniaturized with the 2 sticks of butter.
Oh, yeah.
Weight limit for, drones and blah, 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 having to be registered. I just noticed that really within the past year or so, a lot of things have just shrunk in size. I think I was talking about an all-in-one unit, where you used to have your camera, your receiver, now comes in one unit, weighs 7 grams. Now, of course, the camera's not as good as the camera you're putting in your plane, but that's still amazing.
Right.
That you can put something in, that's that small, that you can put in almost anything. Doesn't matter whether it's, the Easy Star. It's all together $25.
It's 100. It's 100 add-on for camera, video transmitter, and then
Oh yeah, for everything separate. But this unit that I bought, it was only $25.
Okay.
I mean, $25.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like the size of a postage stamp or something too, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's going to be exciting to see what they come out with technology, and they're making laws for things they don't understand or how they use it, and restricting all of us because there's the creativity that's coming into it. You may think of a great idea for this stuff that nobody's thought of, and now the government's putting the kibosh to that, saying no.
Oh, he already did. It's sitting right here on the park bench. I mean, that thing is pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
And it wasn't really designed for that, right?
Oh, yes, it is designed for FPV.
But
definitely.
not the way you set it up.
Not mine.
Right. See, so we're talking about innovation right there.
Innovation
anyway,
right
so
there.
yeah.
So that's
I mean, come
not
on.
mine,
He's
but-
got wheels on it, and he's got
Right.
steerable. I mean, there's a lot of modifications done to this. It really, trust me, if you saw a picture of it, it looks really, really cool.
It's beautiful.
I like the little wingtip stirrups or whatever they call those things.
Now, Peter, you said that you had a racing 250 back there
Yes,
in
I
your
do.
workshop. So did you try a little racing, or did you try?
I did.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Every Sunday there is a race going on for fun.
Oh, okay.
Not real competition, but so I went there until I broke it.
And what'd you think of that? I haven't raced. I haven't done that before. So.
I haven't either.
You really have to learn it. I talked about holding altitude in the beginning, which was difficult for me when I started flying FPV. But going through a gate is even more difficult.
Oh, wow.
Now, how big is this gate?
They are different. So from 1 yard only.
Oh, wow. So that's pretty. They're
to
pretty tight. To
maybe
really
sometimes 2 yards.
Oh, okay.
So
they can be really small versus large.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
But still, that's one thing to fly through it by yourself. But now you're racing with like how many guys?
up to 8 guys.
8 guys. So
Yes,
you're trying
at the
to
same time.
8 guys want to get through that little opening
Right.
all at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. First one through.
And you're not going single file.
Right.
Right. Just
Okay,
easily
who's
one line
first?
through. Who goes first and slowly going through there.
Right.
You're going at breakneck speed as fast as you can get these things to go.
Right.
Through a tiny little orifice. You're trying to get everybody to go through there, 8 guys at the same time. So it sounds like there are a lot of crashes, thrills.
Right. When you're flying FPV races, you need a lot of props.
You buy the case.
By the case, I'm sure. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you did that for how long?
The racing only for 6 weeks, I think.
Oh, wow.
Then I broke my 250 quad, and unfortunately, I couldn't repair it until now. I tried to repair it again now.
Yeah, and then you go back and try it again.
Yeah,
Did you like it? Did you like the racing?
Yeah, well, I'm not the racer so much.
Yeah. Wow. He likes to loiter.
He likes to loiter.
He can go take a break, take a nap. That racing stuff is way too fast for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, we have all this really cool stuff in your workshop. What if somebody was trying to get into FPV, just from a new guy's perspective? I mean, like me, for example, I've never really gotten to FPV. What type of goggles, is that the first thing I should get?
Yes.
Is goggles?
Yes, right.
Okay, what type of goggles should I get?
Right now. If you talk about goggles, you have to name Fat Shark.
Okay.
Fat Shark is
Fat Shark is
they're the top of the line, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And
Fat Shark.
Fat Shark.
Yeah.
And why do you like them?
I bought my goggles, as I said, in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Dominator V2 that I have.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good goggle, but the field of view is limited. So that means
like a more narrow look. It's not a wide angle, right?
Right.
It's real
not
narrow.
a wide angle.
Right.
And but it's a reliable goggle.
Ah,
Okay.
gotcha.
Yeah.
It really works.
So you haven't had too many problems with it? Is what you're
No,
saying? Okay.
never. And so, on the other hand, you can. So the Fat Shark goggles that I have and a lot of other people have too small LCD displays inside for each eye. On the other hand, today you get goggles that are called headsets. So it's looking like a box that you have in front of your face.
Right.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
looks
the
a little
one.
bit crazy.
Yeah.
For some
I
people.
think that's the one that once again Mike Barslow
was talking about,
that.
Yeah. But you get sometimes a better picture.
Yeah, it's just one screen though, right?
It's
not
one
two.
screen.
Right,
Yes, right.
And it's further away from your face.
It depends.
Yeah.
Yes. So actually, Fat Shark came out with a headset.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, some weeks or a month ago, and I never had the opportunity to try it. But it's shorter than the headsets from other companies
Oh, I got you.
because they are using a transparent mirror or so.
Oh, no
it.
kidding.
Yeah, so they have a new patent on it.
Oh, okay.
And so I would like to try it.
Yeah, I'll have to demo it. hold on. Let me call Fat Shark and say
That's right.
We want to send
send us over 3 pair. That's what we need.
Yeah, right.
we got our FPV tester right here. We want a couple of pairs of your guys.
Or international.
Yes, that's right. International tester.
That's it. So one of the big things, all of us, I think, our combined ages would be over closer to 200 here sitting at the table.
That's no lie.
But so one of the problems that we have, being in the older set, is that as our vision goes, it's harder to see, and this is why I find a lot of guys like the Fat Sharks or that style of goggle, is because you can get your focal length right for, once again, our being nearsighted. You can see a lot closer or better in those goggles as opposed to just the screen ones. I heard people who have just the screen ones, they can't move the screen back far enough in order to get the focus.
Yeah, right. Well, with the goggles from Fat Shark, the old Dominator V2 that I have, you can put lenses in it.
Ah, okay.
Oh, like a contact lens?
No, it's like glasses. Wow. It's like glasses.
What do I know?
Actually, I have them here.
Yeah, I'll have to try them on here. We'll see over there. I can sit here with the goggles on while you guys do your podcast, right?
But so that's really important for older guys because of that.
Yeah, right.
Because people don't realize that you have to have something like that or have a longer focal length.
Right. Right.
That's also very, very important.
Okay, so Fat Shark goggles are the first thing that I should get into FPV.
Fat Shark or other brands?
Just some sort of a goggle.
Yeah,
mostly Fat Shark, since everybody here
for
has
instance, for some time, Headplay was really in.
Oh, were they? The Headplay?
That's a big box.
Right.
Big box.
Right.
I've seen a video that DJI is coming out with a headset type goggle.
I think I watched that today.
Oh,
yeah, the DJI,
the white one.
Yeah, where they all put it on, and
they have
this really cool thing where the guys go through.
Now.
They have a what do they call it? A promo. There's two guys go out there and race these two Mavics, and they come back and they're all covered in moss and everything.
Oh.
So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, right.
I've seen that. Yeah, it's on the on their website.
Yeah, it's announced, but not on the market until now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, once again, technology marches forward.
Yes, that's what I said. Video is getting better.
Much better.
Right.
And mostly because
hopefully
it's still VGA. It's still a VGA quality for most goggles. I mean, it's not HD quality yet. It's coming, but it's not there yet because I guess the cameras are quite huge. And
actually, the DJI should be HD.
Oh, well then
they say it's 1080.
That's awesome.
So so I'm on YouTube. I'm watching these videos. Is what you're seeing through the goggles the high definition 4K that what you guys?
No.
So
today not.
Okay, so now I have to look at something different than what the HK, because I remember when I flew yours, it wasn't like a super clear. I mean, there was a little bit of depth perception.
Right.
Are they coming out with stuff like that, or will they come out with it? I mean, can you shrink that technology down where you can get 4K type lenses and that kind of thing?
It's going to happen.
I hope so. I also hope so that they will have digital cameras and video transmitters.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because like I was saying, this technology that we're using has just been kind of hodgepodge together.
Right. Everybody just throwing
security cameras. They were, hacked those apart. Hey, I can fit this small camera into this plane, and I can grab this video transmitter off of this thing, hook them together. Hey, it works.
Right.
And then they refine it a little bit more, and that's how we got what we got. And like I said, it was just for a security camera. It wasn't supposed to have super resolution and have all this stuff, but the popularity has been exploding. So some manufacturer is going to go, hey, why don't we make something specific for these guys? And that's what's happening now, and we're getting the innovation.
So you're saying it's like a little FPV potluck, and everybody just comes in and brings their own thing?
That's exactly right.
All the manufacturing?
Look at, Peter, with all the things that he's putting together. He's kind of coming up with an idea.
Right.
Just grabbing whatever he has laying around the shop, whatever idea he has, solders some things together.
Right.
Bam, you get a great system. But, it's not a dedicated snap together, everything fits together,
No, what I'm doing is not what you can buy ready to fly from a
right.
shop.
Oh, I got
So-
you. So you're more building it or
Yes.
modifying it. Okay, that makes sense. So I got my goggles. What's the next thing I should get?
Well, then you need a camera and a video transmitter and an antenna.
Okay.
You can get this together for about $100.
Okay.
You can put it on a plane or a quadcopter, and then you can start flying FPV.
Do I need a special radio, or can I just use my current radio?
You can use your current radio, yes, of course.
Okay. And I don't need any special video linkage or any of that stuff.
The video is transmitted usually on 5.8 gigahertz. So the goggles, of course, also needs a video receiver.
Okay, and is that weird looking antenna that's on?
Yeah, you have the small antennas here on top of the goggles.
They look really weird. They have
most headsets have a built-in receiver. The Fat Shark goggles need a separate receiver that you also integrate into the goggle. Then you put it into the goggle.
So I have the goggles, and they transmit to the video receiver.
No, the video transmitter from.
It comes to the goggles.
Yes, comes to the goggles.
I gotcha.
And so that's the only thing that you need to get started.
Huh.
Then another thing to be legal.
There's that government guy again. What is he doing? Government's all the time in my pocket.
If you fly FPV, you can use a transmitter with up to 25 milliwatts of power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So don't buy any from the Russians. I think theirs are like bajillion watts or something.
It's all coming from China.
Oh, okay. Right. I don't have to worry about the Chinese. It's those the Russians.
Yeah. So, but if you want some more power, you should have a ham radio license.
Oh, right.
Which you can readily get from the FCC. It's free. It's online. I mean, you can take the courses
you
online.
buy a book, study the book, and then take a test. And if you get the ham radio license, if you pass the test, you get a ham radio license, and then you are legal to fly with a little bit more power.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I have a radio telephone operator's license. Is that the same thing?
No.
Well, give a guy a break.
Yeah, try. Good try. Good try.
Breaker.
Nope. That doesn't work either.
That's a CB license? Is that what that is? Well, I actually have it because we have to have it to fly international. So.
Oh, okay.
In the airlines. Anyway, sorry.
Yes. So, and then you are also legal to use other frequencies.
So you're just limited with no license. You're limited to just a certain amount of frequencies.
Yes, without a license, you can use 2.4 gigahertz, and you can use 5.8 gigahertz for video.
Oh, I gotcha.
But with a license, you can also use other frequencies.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Now the 2.4 gigahertz won't interfere with my radio, right?
Yes, it will.
If you use 2.4. For video, it would interfere.
So now I'm flying along, and I crash my own airplane because I flip my goggles on.
Except if you have a DJI.
Oh, well, of course.
They use 2.4 for radio and video.
Honey, can I borrow $1,000? I got to get this Mavic over here.
Right.
I think I'm going to sell. I'll sell some body parts from Jay. Maybe I can harvest your kidneys or something.
Is that how I got that scar on my side?
That's why you were sleeping.
But usually if you see most people, they are flying with a standard radio, 2.4 gigahertz and 5.8 gigahertz for the video transmission.
Now, do they make something that I can just readily go buy? Because I am a new guy, and this is a lot of stuff, for me to go figure out. And luckily, I have somebody like Peter that I can go to the park, and we've got a couple other guys that fly FPV that that come out to the park occasionally. But is there actually something I can just go out of a box? I mean, does eFlight or Horizon Hobby have something that's an automatic FPV?
Yes, you can buy cameras and video transmitters and antennas from one of the big players in the market. Mm-hmm. But you can also go shopping somewhere else and
get it
take
cheaper.
the components. that you think are better.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go.
Well, you were just talking about a little quadcopter you just got or put together by eFlight. Talk
The
about that one.
quadcopter was a ready-to-fly quadcopter.
Right. But it came with a camera and
Yes,
it hooked
camera,
up to
video
your goggles,
transmitter, everything.
everything.
Yes, I only put a receiver for the radio in it.
Right.
That was all.
That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
And that thing is great because it's just a little guy, and you can fly it all around your house, and you can fly a little bit outside. And
that's that little thing. that
Yeah.
you
Oh,
have.
yes.
Exactly.
What is that called?
It's a Blade Nano QX FPV.
Oh, yeah. You can like fly it under the table. And
Oh, yeah,
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
I
that thing is
fly
kinda
here
cool.
around the table, here
Yeah,
around
and
the kitchen.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So the neat thing about this stuff, once again, that little, I think, what is that? It's $100, about
$150.
$150 for that thing,
yeah,
right? So $150, you can go get it, like you were just saying. You can go
Right.
buy it, bring it home,
But then it's ready to fly.
and then it's ready to fly. So the thing is, if you have a couple of guys, you all run down and you go get them. You can come back. It's wind, like I'm from Alaska. We're formerly from Alaska. So, it's cold outside. I don't want to go outside and fly FPV.
What?
Now I can go over to my buddy's house. We can set a course up in the house.
In the house.
Now I recommend you send your wife to the movies, or you call up all the other wives
Yeah.
and they have a nice day out.
wives' day.
You give them some money so they can
Right.
go out and have dinner.
Right.
Hey, we'll see you in a couple of hours, and then you set up the race course through the house, and you could be racing in the house, having a hoot, being like 12-year-old boys, screaming and yelling and hitting each other and nudging. I don't think you can pay to have that much fun.
I don't know.
Right. That's
Exactly.
absolutely right. And yesterday we saw the small inductrix, or how is
Yes.
it pronounced?
Oh, that's
Yes.
right. Yeah. I think Mike Barstow was, or Mike B was bringing that.
So that's even a little bit smaller than my Nano QX.
Right.
So, and it's flying great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we know that the quadcopters can actually, come up and be ready to fly. But do they have an actual airplane that is like that as well? I mean, they've got the ASX
I've
and all that
never
other stuff.
seen a plane that small.
I think eFlight has just come out with a smaller wing, one that you could probably carry like 3 or 4 of them underneath your wing.
Right.
But
You could
it's-
drop them on the wing.
But it's a little wing, and I think it's a racing wing.
Right now, some companies are coming out with racing wings. So with less than 40 inches of wingspan.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a new trend coming out right now.
So it is catching up to us. I mean, all the ASX and the Horizon Hobby, UMX, that type stuff.
Yes.
Once that caught on, it just exploded. And I think the FPV, the Inductrix, and some of the other things that are coming out there, we'll probably see in the next, 5 to 6 months, more stuff
Probably
come out
so.
on the market.
Since they already have that little tiny camera out for like the Inductress and for your Nano Quad, I'm sure they're going to throw it on the UMX series, the small little planes. They're going to come out with a little small plane that you go out and fly, or wing. That's
Yeah,
just-
because the technology is there. I mean, and the size is there, right? I mean, they're coming down. I know the one that you had was pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
I had to glue the lens back on. That's why I know.
you did have to. Well,
He has a real small. We knocked the lens off. It was an accident, but whatever. Yeah, I guess that, like you said, if you have this new equipment and you're learning, you're going to have to buy more props, more all the other stuff that goes with it.
well, I'm grateful that now the price of this stuff,
it's come way down.
it's come way down.
Yeah.
So if I smash it up, even though we did repair it, I could have bought another one. It's just nice to know that if we couldn't, hey, I was only out $25.
Yeah.
So I'm elated.
Well, before we go, Peter, you got a new radio. You said.
Yes.
Yeah. What type of radio did you get?
Well, my first radio that I bought here in the United States is a high-tech Aurora 9X.
Right.
Good radio.
It's a pretty good radio, yeah. And I now went with a Tyrannus.
Uh-oh.
Another free sky,
Free Sky
guy.
Yeah.
Evil Mike will be happy.
Yes, he will. Yeah. Now, how do you like that radio?
Until now, I didn't use it very much.
Okay.
It seems to be pretty good.
All right. Well, we'll.
Programming is different.
Yeah, it is a little bit different.
I'm just learning it.
Yeah. For a smart guy like you, it should be pretty easy, though. And look at your shop. You're building all this crazy stuff
I
in
know.
there.
Self-taught flying helicopters.
I know. I'm jealous already.
Yeah, so I can't say very much about it until now.
We'll check back with you and see how you like it after you've flown it for a while. So, well, Peter, thank you very much for letting us come by and take a look at your shop. We've kind of run out of time, but man, these projects you have are just incredible.
Yes, they are.
You'll definitely have to keep in touch with us and let us know how those are going and how they fly. And you said you have flown this already, though, right?
The Terra
wing.
wing.
With a wing.
With not that was when you didn't do any mods to it, right?
Yes, as I said, I bought the plug-and-play version.
Right.
Just put a receiver in it and a battery and flew it.
Now, we flew that in the park a while back, right? Okay,
correct.
but you haven't flown it in its current situation?
No.
Okay, so we're still waiting for that to happen.
Yes.
Okay, well, you'll have to let us know. Yeah.
I'm almost finished now with the modification.
Right.
But I have to set up the rudder throws and set up the vector.
How hard is that?
Not so hard. A couple of hours.
I think it's going to be incredibly hard because I don't see any rudders on that airplane. So setting up a rudder on that thing is going to be massively.
Oh, well, I didn't notice that when you said that. Yeah, there are no rudders.
It is a wing. I think he meant elevons, right? Okay,
that's correct.
I'm looking at it going, okay, something's not right here, but okay.
Well,
maybe
actually, it's
me.
my first wing, so.
Okay, rudders. Yeah, there's no wings on rudders.
I guess it will take hours.
Yeah. Well, hey, we appreciate you sitting in on our podcast tonight. We do appreciate you letting us come over and take a tour. And it's good to have all this amazing technology around us. And we hope you're very successful on this flight. You'll have to keep us
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Peter.
Well, Jay, I appreciate you joining me tonight.
As always, Mike, I'm glad that I'm here.
Yeah. We should do a question and answer session.
I think so. I think we should dedicate like 5 or 10 minutes at the end of the show to talk about anything that our listeners have questions about, like this podcast or something else that may have just popped up in their head and they want to just throw it our way. We'll try to address it on the show.
All right. Well, we have a comment section on our website. You can go add comments. We respond to those. And if not, you can email us at parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com. Give us questions, comments, concerns. Go to iTunes and let us help us out. Give us a star rating and review.
We're on everything. I think we're on.
Man, we're on so much stuff.
We're on Google. We're on.
I Googled this the other day, man. We're on so many podcasts now. It's ridiculous. We're worldwide, I think. Or worldwide.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and now, luckily, with Peter, we get some more people in Germany.
That's right.
We have his relatives are now listening.
Locked up now.
His relatives are listening to us now. So, well, hey, we want you to have a good night, and I guess we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Sure will.
All right. Thanks for all you guys out there and the listeners. Take care. We'll see you later.
Have a good night.
All right.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please feel free to email your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast@gmail.com.